Hey everyone, this is Chris Crazy House, and I'd like to welcome you to another art video. And in this one, I am going to be doing two dragons locked in a death struggle. So I've always been a fan of, fantasy that leans more into a darker realm. So if you think about classic Conan the Barbarian type fantasy, or if you, even in modern times, things like Game of Thrones, written by George R.R. Martin. I've always appreciated his work in that he takes high fantasy concepts, but it goes into some very dark places, and that's what I want to portray in this image, something that's a little bit more violent than we are used to seeing. And I have these two dragons locked in a death struggle where they are both fighting each other to the death, and doing extensive damage to each other, to the point where if you look at this image, you can tell that both dragons are probably not going to make it out of this struggle that they're having, this fight that they're having. And that's exactly how a lot of animals fight when they collide with each other, and I wanted to kind of keep that in this image here. So just to let you guys know a little bit about my creative process, what I did was I had a small thumbnail sketch of this image, and I decided to take that into the program Sketchbook Pro. So because I didn't want to redraw it on paper, I felt like I had a good handle on the composition of the image. So I brought in the Sketchbook Pro, I blew it up, and then I drew over it with the digital pencils of Sketchbook. So that's what you see as I kind of draw over that with some digital pencils and create a larger, more detailed image of the concept that I have. And of course, after I did that, I took those digital pencils and I transferred them over to Adobe Animate, and with that I decided to do the digital inks of this project and to color it digitally with the vector artwork and make it as bright and colorful as I could. If you look at them, they are in their death throes, and they're struggling against each other, trying their best to fight the other one off. But it looks like they are locked in, and neither one is going to survive the end of this struggle. Now, this is actually a little bit of an older piece. I drew this some years ago, and if I can be honest with myself, if I can critique myself, it's not bad. It's not bad. It doesn't look bad even looking back on it, but I feel I could do a lot better now. But if I were to redraw this, I might zoom out a little bit so you can see more of the dragon's bodies, and I will probably add some other elements into it. So if they, maybe more of an environment, maybe they're fighting in near a castle, and maybe you can see more of the chaos of, the castle crumbling or the people running away. So maybe I will redo this piece or do something similar, a similar concept later on. I enjoy the way that this looks, and if you like this art piece, you can download it and use it as a background for your own desktop or laptop by downloading the artwork on my Patreon. The link for it will be in the description box as well as the comment section. Also, for the artists out there, if you want to analyze more of my artwork, you can go and see a longer version of this video on the Patreon right now. And let me know in the comments what you guys think. Let me know how you feel about this artwork. If you like the way it turned out, let me know if it sparks any ideas in your head, as far as if you are an artist yourself and you enjoy this type of violent, darker, high fantasy. Anyway, thank you all very much for joining me here, and if you'd like to see more of my art videos, please stay tuned and make sure you go ahead and subscribe so that way you are notified when I upload more artwork like this.